Well, hey everyone, we have a great show coming up. Michael Seward is going to be here with all kinds of fun ideas to jazz up your Christmas decor, and it's already smelling amazing in here. Wait till you see the candles. Plus, a nonprofit that's making way for more babies, how they're helping support expecting mothers and single moms. And on a very serious note, the holidays can be very difficult for people who have lost loved ones. Monique Williams debuts a beautiful new anthology about life lessons from women who've lost their mothers. She's up first. The JENNIE Show starts now. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you for joining us. We see the festive holiday lights, we hear the familiar carols, and see commercial after commercial where people are joyfully celebrating. But December is a painful time for many people who are missing a loved one. Whether you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, loss is loss. It can be hard to think about dealing with that during the holidays. It's a critical time, but experts offer 5 tips to help cope with grief during this time of year, starting with planning ahead. Acknowledge the fact that you have challenging days ahead. Be mindful of what you truly need. Next, have a conversation with your family to let them know you need time alone, help with holiday rituals, or the freedom to change a family tradition. Number 3, consider helping others. You might find that volunteering, adopting a needy family, or donating a gift to charity can help get your mind off your heartache. You could also check with friends or family to see if they could use a helping hand. Number 4, take comfort in your memories. You can honor your loved one by lighting a candle in his or her memory. You can display photos, hang a special ornament, or toast them at the holiday dinner. And finally, take one day at a time. Whether you find comfort in old holiday traditions or decide to start new ones, try not to overload yourself to get through the days faster or isolate yourself until they're over. Of course, everyone grieves in his or her own way, and no single way is right. But keep in mind, your family and loved ones are grieving too, and will understand if you need to do things a bit differently this year. Someone who knows all too well the pain of loss and moving forward is with me here today. Monique Williams is a very familiar face in the Augusta market. She's a journalist, a speaker, and now she is sharing her debut anthology, Mourning Joy, Life Lessons from Our Late Mothers, and that's Mourning, M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G. Monique Williams, it's an honor to have you here with me today.
Jenny, the honor is truly mine.
Well,
thank you so much.
You know, I think you're just really brave to want to come on and talk about this. But it is so important, okay? Because so many people are dealing with loss during the holidays, and the first holidays are so hard.
Oh, yeah.
I want to ask you, just before we get into the book, about your mom. You lost your mom 8 years ago.
I did, November 30th. So just a few days, maybe a week or so prior to us sitting down and talking, what made 8 years. And this started as a promise that I made to her, Jenny, on her deathbed. I didn't know it would turn out to be an anthology. But I was asking her so many questions. It's like I felt this little time capsule, just in the granules of time were just slipping by, and I was asking her this and that, and she says, "You sure are asking me a lot of questions." And I said, "Yeah, I guess I am, Mom." And she said in her Southern dialect, "You must be gonna write a book." And I said, "Well, yeah, I guess I am.
Maybe I am.
Maybe I am." And at the time I thought, it would be something that I would take on solely myself. But as a journalist, you know, we are storytellers.
Right.
And around this same time, I started seeing so many of my friends, they were losing their moms. It seemed like every day on social media, I was seeing another post about somebody's mom passing. And it's like I heard so clearly, I believe, from God. And he said, "You're a storyteller. Tell other women's stories."
And that's what she's done in this book. It's a collection of stories, 10, as she says, phenomenal women who share their stories along with Monique's story. So 11 women are sharing their stories about the loss of their mom. You say that you really believe that this is going to help usher in a healing for people who are going through loss.
I do, for sure. I have this saying, it's actually on the back of the book. It says, silence kills, but transparency heals. And I feel like when we share our stories, it gives other people permission to do the same.
Yeah.
And feedback that I've gotten so far from the book is just that. It's like, oh, wow, these women felt the same thing that I was feeling. I felt like I was all by myself. I didn't think anybody understood, but the purpose of this is to show that no, yeah, people understand, they're going through it and they get through it, and you can too.
That's the thing, you get through it. It wasn't my mother, but my dad died right at Christmas time a number of years ago, and I had bought the tree, and you know what? The tree stood in my living room undecorated that December because, again, it's different. There's a loss, but there's something significant in that, because I think about that year when I couldn't decorate. Like I said, we had bought the tree, it was in the water, but I never put anything on it. Because the next year, when you do start doing things again, somehow there's a little bit of joy. You see an ornament that reminds you of something, or you do a tradition that reminds you. I've also found, Monique, that I see so much of my father in my children, who didn't live to know his grandchildren, but I see so much of him in them.
It's interesting you bring up the traditions and how hard it is to deal with the holidays. You know, I used to wonder why people sometimes were not happy about the holidays. And I would think, how can you not be happy about Christmas? How can you not be happy about Thanksgiving? Because those were just wonderful times for my family. My mom, my dad, my 4 brothers. Growing up in Middle Georgia, I was the only girl.
Oh my gosh.
So Christmas and Thanksgiving were really great for me. But I get it now. When, after my mom passed, I was like, wow, I see why this would not be a great time of year for so many. And it does take months, sometimes years, to get back in the swing of things. And it may be that one ornament. I know for me, my mom, she made the most delicious buttermilk pies. It's like a Southern delicacy. Very simple recipe, probably about 4 or 5 ingredients. And she would sell them. So everybody knew my mom for her buttermilk pies. I even talk about it in the book. I've made it once. And I did get a stamp of approval from my son, because he, as her grandson, he loved those pies. And I said, did I do okay? But I have to feel like I really want to be close to mom to even get in the kitchen to do it.
To do that,
But when I do, that one time that I did, there were a couple times I tried again, and I didn't really like the way it came out, so I don't count those. But just something like that, it makes me feel close to her, or wearing a garment of her clothing, or something like that. Anything to feel close to her.
As you say that, I have the snowflake pin on today. We lost my mother-in-law 3 years ago on December 15th, and I try to wear some of her little Christmas pins. She had lots of Christmas pins because it helps me feel close to her as well. Monique Williams, you've just done a beautiful job with this. I so look forward to reading this, and I'm sure that it will be meaningful to so many of you. And you can get it now in time for Christmas. All you have to do is go to Amazon.com and do a search for Mourning Joy by Monique Williams. Lovely having you with us today.
Jenny, thanks so much.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Monique is partnering with the Jesse Norman School of the Arts, and some of the proceeds from her book, Mourning Joy, Life Lessons from Our Late Mothers, will go to the school to support their programs. So, how can you get a copy of the book? All you have to do is go to Amazon.com and search Mourning Joy, search Monique Williams, you'll find it. The cost is $19.99.